Hi, it's Eugene Ebner with BroadwayWorld TV, and I have a really special person here today by the name of Sierra Rein. Not only is she special because she has a really inspiring story and a show called Running in Place, which will be actually the first time here at Don't Tell Mom on March 6th, beginning at 7 p.m. More importantly, she just won her first award as a solo cabaret artist.
Yeah,
a Bistro Award.
Thank you.
What is it? New debut?
Outstanding debut.
Outstanding debut.
Someone found a thesaurus and was like, best, no. Greatest, no. Outstanding.
I
yes.
love that. Well,
Yeah.
you are outstanding.
Oh, thank you.
And the first time I heard you sing was actually at an open mic last year, and I was blown away by your voice and, of course, your energy on stage.
Thank you.
How did this show come about? Isn't it something about you said, and correct me if I'm wrong, it was think, believe, dare, dream?
I have to do this in my pattern, so I have to reverse. Think, dream, believe, dare. I think that's on the poster. It's actually a quote from Walt Disney.
Okay.
And it comes out of a story I tell about me running a 5K for a Disney cruise line, and that kind of is involved in a very theatrical monologue that comes from the title song "Running in Place" in my show. So it's a kind of a show about putting yourself out there, putting one foot in front of the other, going through some of the feelings of feeling like you're running in place when in reality you're closer to the finish line than you think it is. So it's
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that.
Thank you.
I think so many of us can feel that way at times in our life.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of audition season now for musical theater because I come from that oeuvre.
So you're trained in musical theater?
Yeah, trained in musical theater, and a couple of years ago when I was considering themes, I was listening to Steel Pier which is a musical by Kander and Ebb, and Running in Place is one of those songs. And as soon as I started listening to lyrics, I was like, oh, this speaks to me, because as many auditions or open mics as you go to, or job interviews, you can kind of feel a little bit downtrodden, and trying to figure out whether you're doing the right thing, whether doing all this work
is going to pay off.
Is going to pay off, exactly. And the kind of opposite. I don't go too into it necessarily, but I also thought about the idea of running in place on a treadmill. And I actually have some publicity photos of myself in a ball gown on a treadmill.
I do, and you have tennis shoes.
Yeah, I do have tennis shoes.
I love that.
And I was thinking about, it's like, well, sometimes you do have to feel like you're on a treadmill because you need that momentum, so that when that treadmill stops, you have that momentum to go forward and achieve the next step in your career or your dreams or things like that.
And look what's happening for you.
Yeah.
You're opening new doors, and the running in place for a while is now, like you said, it takes you takes you off into the next stage. I have felt that many times in my life. I know a lot of performers have and still do, but I think a lot of people in general in their life, or whatever profession they're in, they say, what's happening? Why does it seem to be stalled out? I think timing's so important, but like you said, which is so important, which I have to really remind myself, is constant showing up. And sometimes when we're constantly showing up and we don't feel that we're being embraced or validated through that, it gets discouraging.
Yeah.
But that's when we have to kind of do this, right? And maybe take a breather.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Get back on the treadmill.
Oh yeah.
Revisit it. Now, speaking of the show Running in Place, what I read also that I was drawn to is that you really are incorporating and blending and meshing all different types of styles, right? That, like you said, the Broadway, the pop, the American classics. So in cabaret, we know that we really have to tell the story that we connect to, but for you, blending all those different styles, was it, like you said, that first Broadway song and then it went from there?
Yeah, I mean, there were some songs that I knew was going to be in my show. The opening number is from Something Rotten, and it was one of those things where I saw the show, and as soon as Heidi Blickenstaff started singing the song, I was like, that is mine, probably for the opening, and it is. It's that was definitely it. There's a Disney song that I didn't know if it would fit, but it does, and I'm very glad that we kept it in, because it's a very personal song. It's called Very Good Advice, and it was from Alice in Wonderland.
Nice.
And other songs were taken from my love of cabaret, from my love of composers that don't necessarily have big Broadway shows that I really love. I have a Jeff Blumenkrantz song.
Nice.
I have a Heisler and Goldrich song as well. And then there were songs that were recommended to me from my director, James Beeman, and my music director, Bill Zeffiro. They were like, we need something like this song, like a character-y song, and James suggested a song that was by the writing team of Bielo and Martin, and I instantly fell in love with it because it's very hammy and wonderfully character-y for me to do.
Which kind of incorporates you as an actress,
yes,
too, right?
Exactly.
The musical theater.
Yeah. I wanted to. This is a little bit. I wanted to work on songs that I might be able to bring into an audition one of these days.
Well, there you go.
You know, it's like
Why
a double kind of, because it makes me want to learn that song even more and to invest myself. And the song by Jeff Blumenkrantz, I bring into auditions all the time.
Nice. Don't you think it gives you a deeper meaning when you perform in your cabaret show, though?
Yeah.
Because you're connecting to it in such a
You have to.
ongoing, deep place.
Yeah.
Because you're sharing it with the audience. Now, speaking of all these different styles and songs that you're bringing up, do you feel vocally that you can relate to one better than the other? I mean, since you said you're trained in musical theater, obviously that's probably what you're most comfortable in, but did you have to, as a vocalist, really coach with someone to say, okay, now I'm going to sound more poppy, or now I'm going to sound more this way?
I didn't coach with it unless it was like with Bill Zeffiro, you know, and making sure to, you know, there's a high note at the end. He's like, make sure to, you know, to place it in the thing. But I had so many. I've been singing some of this material for a long time,
so it's comfortable.
So it's comfortable. Probably the most difficult thing for me is like finding the pop rock voice within a more musical theater instrument. But I do too some rock where I really rock it out, and then other ones. There's a Miley Cyrus song.
Oh, that's cool.
Mixed in there.
I can't wait to hear that.
And it's in a different kind of context, but I had to really think about how my voice would tell that story and my voice would sing that song. That's not the way it's normally done. So I didn't necessarily have to like. I had to work on it though.
Right.
Some of those I had to like workshop and figure out how my voice would navigate.
Well, like you
styles.
said, workshopping and open mics, that's what's so brilliant about the open mics. Anyone that's a performer that's interested in cabaret and expanding further into it, open mics are so valuable.
Yeah, I would bring back the same song over and over to the salon, you know, over and over again, and it's a safe place for me to go, did something land, did something not, oh, I gotta work on that note, you know, and then when you do your show, you just kind of let go and you're like, whatever story and character I'm in the midst of, you know, live that instead of caring about the vocals necessarily.
Right. Connecting to it. And you brought something up very important, I think, is we have to make it our own. We're all different. We're all individuals. We have different voices. We have different backgrounds and what we've been trained in. And it's finding that place for us.
Right, exactly.
And I think anyone can relate to that if they're in the audience, as long as you give your best and you're connected to it. Well, it's been such a pleasure. I wish we could talk further because I'm really enjoying this, but thank you for spending time with us today.
Thank you.
And anyone watching this is a really fun show, and she is now not just running in place.
Hey.
She's moving forward, she's expanding, and you get to experience this and share this with her. So please, come out on March 6th at 7 p.m. at Don't Tell Mama.
Right here.
Right here. Thank you, Sierra.
Thank you.